talk, and we got 2 tight ends, so we'll be going Army here. So this is a good job. Really thought Ra'Shede did a good job with your footwork yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, and taking good steps, and here this is a good job with the pad level. Just make sure you keep working, all right?
Yeah.
Just keep working through that, and then same thing with.
Everybody has those skeletons in your closet that, make you feel uncomfortable or whatever.
All right, so good start at it, okay, on the team run.
Growing up, I lived in about 12 foster homes.
Oh, wait, one more. Okay, here we got power.
Foster homes were tough. You got to keep your head on a swivel.
Through here, going right.
Switching to Minneapolis to St. Paul, going back and forth, really had a toll on you.
Okay, next one we got Gio here. Just
My mom, at that time, she was in the halfway house.
a whole lot of.
She gave us up because she had those addictions.
If this was us as a defensive end.
And what about your dad, your birth?
I don't know who he is. Never met him.
Never met him.
Never met him.
Is he alive?
I really don't know. I really don't. So.
We were in our mid-20s. We'd been married a couple of years when we decided to adopt before we had biological children.
Ra'Shede and Xavier were in a foster home in North Minneapolis. All they had was each other. There was this bond and connection that they had because they relied on each other for everything.
A social worker would ask me, what type of family do I want? I wanted a family that can put me in football and basketball and baseball and play all the sports and have all the dogs. And I started naming all the dogs too as well. Eric and Jill, they adopted me and my brother. The first thing I remember was like, man, they're white, And I was like, this is weird. Xavier was younger than me. He was more welcoming than I was. It was easy for him to get along and just call them mom and dad.
You often get kind of a honeymoon period where they're just so excited and everything's new. And of course, as new parents, we're excited to give them everything they want. And reality sort of sets in after that.
I started to see society doesn't accept 2 black kids being with white parents. That took a toll on me in middle school and high school, and then I started being hesitant, started being angry because I really couldn't control that. Middle school, I used to get in a lot of fights. Me being adopted and having white parents, everybody would try to tease me about it. They would call me Uncle Tom's. Why is your daddy white? And it was like, oh my gosh. My dad's an attorney, so he always wears a suit. And some kid asked me like who that was, and I told him that was my parole officer. Just to act tough, you know what I'm saying?
With adopted kids, there's always issues about place in the family and how do you fit in. And then Ra'Shede also had the issues about racial identity.
There's only so much you can do to cause a kid to come to terms with his own identity. It's a struggle that he has to go through.
When they first put me in sports, I felt like this was starting to be a better life than being in foster care. And that's when I was comfortable calling them mom and dad. I played football when I was 8. That was my first time, ever having the helmet, shoulder pads on, and I just fell in love with it.
He was always very big, and he wasn't afraid to hit people. The violence didn't scare him. In fact, it probably attracted him.
Stop holding me if I knock your out, dog.
Playing football kind of releases my energy and my anger.
John, always want to hold some man.
Me being frustrated and me being angry.
Hold on, John. Hold on.
I channel that, and I definitely use that to my advantage.
Ra'Shede, when it comes right down to it, I think he really does wish that he had different circumstances in his life. At some point, he's come to accept that this is what his life is.
Woo! I don't get no applause or nothing. Man. When I catch the ball, nobody want to say nothing, man.
I'm not embarrassed. Being adopted happens. These are my parents. They're definitely my #1 supporters, hands down.
We're at TCF Bank Stadium. Gophers haven't beaten Nebraska in the Twin Cities since 1954.
Martinez back in there at quarterback this week. He's a dangerous quarterback, and they feel like this offense is nearly unstoppable when he's in there.
Play action. Martinez feels the heat, has room, goes deep. Kenny Bell down there. He's got it at the 3-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal, and Martinez is off to a hot start here. Bonnie Cross gets the handoff, and Cross is in for the touchdown. About as bad of a start as you could have for the Gophers.
You want to make a signature game, but you got to make a signature stop first.
And down he goes, Ra'Shede Hageman. A flag comes in, though, from the sideline. So they get Hageman for a face mask on the sack, and what a tough break that is. Martinez to pass, pressure comes and he's sacked, and guess who? Hageman again. I think the last one made him mad. And that is a game-changing play right there. So it's 10-7 here. Gophers trail it by 3. Now the Gophers have a decision here. Punt, go, or field goal. But they're going to go on 4th and a little more than 10. Minnesota this year just 6 of 7 on 4th down.
Yeah, it's usually not 4th down and 10.
Snap back to Nelson. Blitz comes. Nelson over the middle toward the end zone's got Engel. What a grab! And a touchdown! On 4th down, and the Gophers take the lead. And they'll throw over the middle, and they got Goodyear. He's inside the 20. Nelson spins, play action. He's rolling right, looking. He doesn't have a receiver, so he's going to tuck and run inside the 15, inside the 10, inside the 5. He just kept going down to the 3. Nelson under center. He'll get the snap. Sneak, and he's in. Touchdown. I think Nebraska's level just was, oh, this is going to be an easy day today, and the Gophers kicked him where it counts. And the Huskers now in hurry-up. Here's Taylor Martinez. He wants to keep, let some things clear out, and he is off to the races. Spins out of a tackle to the 30, and he's finally out of bounds. Martinez, play action. Fires, has a man all alone, and it's caught. A touchdown. Sam Cotton, the redshirt freshman. And just like that, it's a 1-possession game. To be honest, there haven't been a lot of tense moments at TCF Bank Stadium over the years. This is one of them right now.
The Gophers obviously want to eat up as much clock as possible, but it would be even better to get some points out of this drive.
Corner blitz coming, play action, rolling right. Nelson has Max Williams at the 20, turns it up 15, 10 and out of bounds at the 5. Boy, if you could punch it in, you'd punch your ticket. Here's Nelson on the quarterback sneak. And he is in! Touchdown! Minnesota Golden Gophers! And that will put the final nail in the Cornhusker coffin. And Minnesota will have its first win against Nebraska since 1960.
We're going bowling, baby! We're going bowling, baby!
I just can't tell you the second week in a row. I'm a hell of a lot better in the box. I don't screw everything up, so I feel pretty good about that. I can tell you this, we ain't changing My ego ain't that big. I just like winning. I told you about a week and a half ago, laying in a hospital bed, I wasn't enjoying the moments, and I learned one thing. Number one, I never want to go back, and number two, I'm going to enjoy life. So I'm going to enjoy today, and I hope you do too.